Shalom, shalom. This is from Jim at Savannah. Coming another lesson. But first and foremost, we want to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, and Kakradash. And double honors to the apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, who rule well, teach well, and to the alchemists, well as the affiliate, pushing 100% truth and sincerity by risking their lives and freedom to do so. And shalom to the hopeful elect. And today's lesson I'm going into is these tattoos, man. Of these, these jakes, man. Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom, And it's just crazy, what Jake would do to put tattoos all over their body and to please the women that they are involved with, man. You can't make this up. But right here, Jalen Green spotted at Suns practice with a new face tattoo of Drea Michelle on his face. And Jake, is they get crazy for these women, man, and they do what they got to do. She's an older woman, he's a younger guy, and he does everything to please her. You look at her, man, she kind of look like, she look a little intimidating if you just look in them eyes, Jake got to be careful with her, man, You can look at her, man, she could easily have that spirit in her, and so, this is just not what, our people are supposed to be doing with these tattoos and stuff and putting it all over our body. We're not even supposed to do all that stuff. They really pushed that tattoo thing back in the day when I was growing up with Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson didn't have one tattoo, And then he got tattoos all over his body, and they pushed that, and that image came upon all the players in the NBA. Everybody followed the multitude, to follow the multitude and do evil, paraphrasing. Everybody wanted to have that look, here in Babylon, but it was pushed upon, what I'm saying? The people that run the NBA and all the sports, they push that. They have that image, man, knowing that we're not supposed to even be, putting, all those tattoos all over our body. You know what I'm saying? But hey, they pushed it, hey, and it's Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom, all of the Jakes, man, got tattoos all over their body, And, especially like a lot of, Issachar and Valenzuelas and the Colombians, they push heavy on that tattoos and stuff too, very heavy. Just like Jake do here in America, having tattoos all over their body. But hey, man, you following the ways of the heathen. That's mainly what a lot of these, these Israelites do, man. Following the ways of the heathen. But right here, I'm going to start with this one right here first. First Esdras 4:26 says, Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their stakes. Many also have perished, have earned, and sinned for women. It's just crazy. That's what a lot of Jakes have done for these women, man. To sell out for the women, man. To show them how much they care for them, man. No regards of anything but to please a woman. When you are the catch, man, you are the prize, not the woman. But that's where a lot of these simping gonna come in. Putting tattoo. I guarantee she wouldn't put his face on her face. I guarantee that. But Jake do anything, man, to please these women, man. Do anything to please these women, and it's ridiculous. And we're gonna go right here to Exodus 24 says, "Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images or likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth." You're not supposed to have any, images all over. Crosses on you. Putting Cedric Borgia on you. Which you want to call that Jeebus. You have some Israelites that put that fool on their body. That's crazy. We're showing you right here. You're not supposed to even do that. At all. But a lot of us have came in this truth. We've had tattoos, but once we knew that we're not supposed to do it, we didn't do it anymore. Once you know better, you do better. Once you know better, you do better. Moving forward, we know that we're not supposed to get any more tattoos, and that's what we haven't done. But getting all these tattoos on your face and all over, you can't even hide them. It's just crazy. And that's just following the ways of the heathen. And that's what a lot of our people do. Following the ways of the heathen. And you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to do that either, having all these different so-called gods on you. And right here, Exodus 20:5 says, "Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I am your power, Yahweh Shem Yahweh, and I am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of fathers upon the children until the third and fourth generation of them that hate me." And like I say, that graven images is nothing new under the sun. It's been going all the way back in the day. All the way back. Even in the wilderness, man, how people, these graven images of making all these different gods, knowing who our God was. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh. That they took us out of Egypt, man. But it just show right here, man, that we know, once you know better, you do better, and we're not supposed to be bound down to these images of anybody, here on the planet. You know what I'm saying? We're not supposed to put none of that stuff on our body. You're supposed to fear Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Yeah. And Jeremiah 4:22, "For a people is foolish, they have not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge." And that's how people are foolish, sottish children. They have no knowledge. Wearing a cross. You're not supposed to wear the cross, all that BS and the unk and all that crap, and that white Jesus they like putting around their neck. It just, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Of all these images that the Israelites like to parade around with, man, and it's a bunch of foolishness. Yeah, a bunch of foolishness. Well, I'm going to finish it up right here with Hosea 4:6. So my people destroyed for the lack of knowledge, because they have rejected the knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing that they have forgotten the law of thy God, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. I will also forget thy children, man. And like I say, our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. They still go to these churches and all these images and stuff, and and that white Jesus all over the place. And like I say, man, it just our people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. You know, it's everywhere, and our people, they they believe in it, man. They believe in these images, man, and just all the stuff that fallen things in the world here, man. No love, not the world, you know. But a lot of people like doing a lot of stuff, worldly stuff here, man. And they pretty much 2/3, man. And a lot of them don't fear the Lord, man. You don't fear the Lord, and and like I say, they just here, they back in their lot here in Babylon. The great here at the end, they ain't gonna repent. They gonna keep continuing to do, what they want to do, and like I say, they just get a judgment from all that, man. The ones that don't repent won't have that covering in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. But like I say, once you know better, you do better. At the end of the day, now that you're not supposed to get tattoos. You're not supposed to do it. Once you hear this, you're not supposed to get a tattoo. You say it's not to. So, hey, we cry out loud, blow the trumpet, spare none, man. Paraphrase. We just trying to tell you, don't do it. You know not to do it now. We came up and we didn't learn, because we was in that harlot house. Nobody told us this. But once we got the true wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of these scriptures, man, we knew better. We know better, and then we know to do better. And that's what it's about. Once you come into the truth, you do better. But I hope this will edify to the hopeful sheep of land. Kwan, Yasharala, Kalala, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. On to the next lesson. Shalom.